Hey guys and gals, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Bluetooth communicators, and specifically this is the Cardo Packtalk Slim Duo Pack. I bought the Duo Pack, which just means there are 2 units in there. Here you can see the picture, there are 2 units. Basically you're getting 2 units for slightly cheaper than what it would be if you bought separately by buying them all together. And it comes with all you need to fully install, fully connect each unit, and they are automatically prepared in the Bluetooth mode. But these Packtalk Slims are actually the premium Cardo set, communicator set, because they have the DMC, which is a dynamic mesh communication network. So basically what that is instead of pairing Bluetooth or a group of Bluetooth pairing in a line, like one rider to the next, to the next, to the next, if one of those riders in the line drops off, all the other ones in line drop off. But the DMC, what that's going to do is create a digital mesh network so that all riders are connected amongst each other. And so if one rider drops out of the group, out of range, then the other riders remain connected. And if he comes back in or she comes back in later, then they automatically just jump back into the network. So that's going to be the premium feature of the Cardo systems. I know they have the FreeCom series where it's only up to 4 riders or 2 riders depending on what set you get. But with the Packtalk Slim or the Packtalk Bold, which are basically the same unit with very, very different designs. If you get the Packtalk Slim or the Bold, what you're getting is the DMC network. You're also getting voice command for all of the different platforms of phones that are out there. And then also you've got JBL speakers. So sound by JBL. So it's going to come with JBL speakers, which is nice because the sound is crystal clear. It's really, really good sound. Some people online have complained a little bit about the volume being quiet, but I've had no troubles hearing people. So let's look at the unit itself. The unit itself for the Packtalk Slim looks like this. It's got a wire between two little modules. Back here is where the battery, I believe, the battery and the antenna is all here in this part. And then the buttons and the communicator itself, the buttons are up here with a clip. You can see the clip for clipping in the helmet. Now, this clip has actually been modified. I cut this clip off right here, which I should not have done. But one of the big design flaws of this, or the big design troubles of this, is that you have to have a helmet where you can stick this clip all the way in between the shell and between the outer shell, the hard outer shell, and the styrofoam. You have to slip it between the shell and the styrofoam. And there are not a lot of places on the helmet where you can stick it in as far as it was. I believe it was up this much higher than what I cut off. And so when you stick it in there, of course, the styrofoam is going to have some kind of adhesive. It's going to be stuck to the inside, to the outer shell. It's going to be put together. You stick it into ear wells. And so what I had trouble on this one was when I put the unit on, installed it here, it pushed up all the way to the ear holes, and then it was not going up all the way. So that's one of the very first things that I noticed is this is very, very finicky on finding a spot on the side of your helmet where you can get it to slide all the way up without modifying the clip the way that I did. The second design thing that I would mention as we're talking about design, I think it's wonderful to have this slim design. So in order to make this slim design, basically it doesn't stick way out like the other units do. It only sticks out just about that much. And it looks super cool too. But in order to do that, they had to put a big portion of the electronics here on the back. And this is just a plastic case. It feels kind of flimsy, to be honest. This part feels real solid, well made, but the back part feels pretty flimsy. And as you can see, now it's on the back side of my helmet, on the bottom of the back side of my helmet. So every time I put my helmet down, it's going to rest directly on the main part of the electronics. I really, really, really don't like that. I wish they had made it so that it sticks to the back somehow. They could have designed it to be in the back somehow on the back of the shell of the helmet with adhesives or whatever. But I think they could have done that a little bit differently. So this is how it is. This is how it sets up. It's clipped onto the side. That's the only way you do it. It's just you have to maneuver that clip all the way in. And then it's connected through this wire all the way to here. And then the wires on the other side come out to the connectors. So getting back to the one that I've got off from here, okay, I'll turn that around because I've got some Velcro. From here, the wires come out to these connectors, and these go to mic and JBL speakers. So that's the Cardo Packtalk Slim. Now, when you get it, you're going to get it with this brochure that tells you all about the buttons. Basically, we have 3 main buttons for function. We're going to have let's see, this is the intercom. I guess this is the intercom icon. This is the play button, and this is the call button. And so you have these 3 buttons, and basically you push and hold, or you push once, or you push a combination of 2 buttons and hold, or you push once. You know, they have a bunch of different commands that you can do just using those 3 buttons. And then there are volume buttons on the bottom. So one of the things is, while I ride with gloved hands, because of these ridges between the buttons, it's actually not hard to find which buttons I'm touching. So I know that I'm touching the front button, I know that I'm touching the middle button, or the front 2, or the back 2, or the front and the back. It's very, very comfortable, and you pick up very quickly, you get used to very quickly how to touch the buttons and how to touch the right buttons. However, it takes a really long time to remember what button is in what place. For example, so in other words, I can't ever bring myself to remember that the call button is in the back, the play button is in the middle, and then the little, what is that button? Communication button or icon is in the front. So that takes a long time to memorize which ones are in which place. The other thing is, there are so many functions that when you look on the brochure it comes with, the brochure is very, very clear on what buttons to push. It's got little diagrams, very, very clear and nice. But again, memorizing that so that while you're out riding and you're like, okay, what was that button combination? It's just a lot to remember. So you might want to print up or you know, copy and paste the main ones that you're going to use from this brochure and get them onto kind of a quick reference card, so that when you're out riding, if you can see the quick reference card somewhere, maybe on a tank bag or somewhere where you can see those and remember those. It looks like wind is picking up outside. That's pretty fun. So back to the ideas. The buttons, finding the buttons are no problem. Memorizing which buttons are where and what combinations do what functionality, that's a little bit of a trouble. It just takes a long time, and I'm still not really clear on what button's in the middle, what button's on the front. Now, I know how to turn it on, I know how to connect, I know how to do those things just automatically, but I don't associate those with the different symbols, yet I just associate it with what I always do, muscle memory. Okay, so one of the things is, let's talk about the actual slim design. I really like this slim design. It's really nice. I like it better than the bold design, as far as the turn wheel here and then the top button, bottom button, and front button. I like this a lot better. Also, the main reason I got it is because I don't want that antenna that sticks up, that flips up. I thought that's something that can break really easily. It's prone to, you put your gloved hand up in the wrong way and you might catch on it and it might break. I don't know, but I assumed that it would be prone to breaking. So I bought this one. What I found out is this is not compatible with a lot of helmets. I know that they have a compatibility guide and they have tons of helmets that they say these are compatible. But if it's not on the list, you don't know if it's not on the list because it's absolutely not compatible or because it hasn't been updated and to reflect all the compatible helmets. So it's not very compatible. So let's talk about how we clamp it on. So originally you're supposed to clamp it on with one of these. It's just a two-pronged clip, and it clips into the back side of this. Now they have two sizes, and let me see if we can show the difference. Oh, pull my hands down. So one is very thin and one is thicker. So basically that would put it forward or backwards on the helmet depending on how thick the back of your helmet is. So some helmets on the back here, they have a very thick shell or thick design so that the padding is way far away. So depending on your helmet, do you need it sitting right at the base of your neck, or do you need it moved back a little bit? So those two different size clamps do that. And again, what I said is for the clamp, it just sits in there like that. Once again, they're banking on the fact that you can slide a clip like this all the way between the outer shell and the styrofoam and get it all the way slipped in there, just like that. Again, I don't like the fact that it sits on the electronic unit, and I don't like the fact that it's not compatible with a lot of helmets. One issue that makes it not compatible with a lot of helmets is the fact that the cord's coming out of the clip. So the cord is actually coming out of up inside the shell. Why would they not have made the cord connect to the unit itself? All right, now one of the main gripes that I've had with this unit is this is entirely waterproof. They advertise entirely waterproof, water resistant, and very first day this rubber tab that covers the micro USB, it fell out and then it doesn't go back in. So when I push it in, it pops out. When I push it in, it pops out. When I push it in, it pops out. And I can't get it to stay. So all of the waterproof is going to disappear if I can't get this rubber stopper to stay inside its port. Now the other thing is, it takes about 8 or 9 hands to get the charger into that port, the micro USB charger into that port, when this is installed on the helmet. You're holding one hand on the helmet and then you're trying to put it in the other, use your other hand to put it in, but then this rubber tab keeps flapping back into your way. So then you can't get, you can't get it in to charge. I've had no problems charging it. It charges really well. I think it charges fast and it stays charged for ages. I think I've gone a week of commuting without recharging it, and I listen to music and I make phone calls and things like that, or I receive phone calls. Again, with the voice activation, it's great because I can just tell my phone to call somebody, say the name of who I want to call, and it automatically dials. Because my phone recognizes my voice, I can just say, okay, call this person. It calls the person, and then I can hang up very, very easily. So I like the voice command. So as far as the function goes, it is amazing. I really, really like this unit. It has so much great functionality. Also, the phone app is great too. It's very, very simple. It's not very powerful. There's not a ton that you can do with it. But basically what you can do with it is forget about these button icons and just click on what you need to do. All right, so some of the other things that it comes with. So it does come with 4 different microphones. And the reason that is because it'll come with 2 boom mics for in case you have like a 3/4 helmet and you want to have a boom mic. It's a pretty sturdy boom mic. And then it also has 2 just wired mics with Velcro so that you can just Velcro the microphone into the chin of your helmet, as I have here. I don't know if we can see this. I don't know if we can. No, I'm not going to be able to see that. But I've got my mic here inside the front of the helmet, wired up pretty easily. I'll say this, the mic absolutely takes away all wind noise. So when I'm talking to a friend and when I'm listening to a friend through the communicators, I don't hear any of the wind sound or the road sounds. Occasionally I'll hear the bike sound come through, and then it'll clean it up, I guess, through the digital noise cancellation, whatever it has. So microphone is super, super clear. The wind noise is all taken care of, so you're not hearing other people's wind noise. I like it. Overall, if I had to buy again, I think I would stick with the Packtalk Bold. And the reason for that is it's going to be so much more compatible with a lot more helmets. And the reason I say that is because when you buy a communicator, or when I buy a communicator, I'm buying for a long time. I want this to last until the technology is just old and great. But with helmets, I want to know that I can replace them when they start to become unsafe, or when the padding loosens up and whatnot. You go through helmets, I would say, faster than you should be going through the technology. So if you buy the Packtalk Slim, then when you eventually go to buy a new helmet, you're pretty limited on which helmets will fit the Packtalk Slim. All right, so that's about it. If I think of anything else to talk about, I'll edit it in. But guys, again, thank you so much for listening. Big review. Basically, I love the unit. I love what it can do. Man, being able to talk with a pal and connect just real quick takes a lot of stress out of the ride. But this design, I think, is great if it absolutely fits your helmet. But that's going to be rare because it doesn't fit a lot of helmets. All right, guys, thanks so much. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to see more. Thanks, guys. Bye.